question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Does anyone even care?
I cared about Nebraska back on November 5th, just like I cared about all states. So I went into the voting booth and I voted in the best interest of all Americans. But clearly, Nebraska didn't care about all Americans, nor did Nebraska care about Nebraska. If Nebraska cared about Nebraska, then 60% of voters who voted in Nebraska wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump. They would have voted for Kamala Harris. If the voters in District 1 out in Nebraska and the voters in District 3 out in Nebraska would have cared about Nebraska, then they would have voted for Kamala Harris and not for Donald Trump. I can't care about Nebraska now when Nebraska didn't even care about Nebraska then. For those of you all who don't know, Nebraska is slated to go bankrupt in the next couple of months. In addition to that, all of the farmers out in Nebraska who voted for Donald Trump, they've lost all of their workers because their workers were migrants, probably illegal immigrants who were working their farms. And so all of those workers have left the state. So it is my opinion, instead of asking other Americans if they care about Nebraska, you should be asking Nebraska why they didn't care about Nebraska.
Hello everybody, how are you doing? Hope you're doing super fine. Whatever you are today, as you know, these are presented Ginger Stories, and I'm hoping that you are doing great. Now, white women, again, white people in general, are asking this question: do you really care about them? Or presently, you know what has happened to Nebraska white farmers. They endorsed who they endorsed, but things are turning out negatively for them. And now a lot of things are going wrong, a lot of things are going haywire. But at the end of the day, they'll sit down and ask, do really black people care about us? For me, I feel like that's a narcissist, kind of a narcissist question, because you can't be joyriding the history for the longest time, and now an inconvenience happens to you, and then you go and ask the oppressor, do you really care about us? Where were you when all these things were happening to black folks? Where were you when black women were being sexually assaulted? Where were you when black men were going to jail for doing nothing? Where were you? That's the question. Do you really care about us? Really? Things can go wrong, but that's a crazy question to ask, to be honest. And this is a reflection of how sometimes when the oppressor is now being oppressed, they look for unity, something that they were not practicing before. You need to know this has always happened in history. And for the longest time, it is just a reflection of inward fear. Remember just recently when I told you that do all these apologies that we are seeing from white people right now, are they genuine? That's the question. And I told you there are a lot of economic shifts that are happening in the United States today, which makes them to want unity with a black person, because they know when you have a black voice, you are going to win. And that's why they're asking you, do you really care about us? So I don't want to say much, but at the end of the day, you know the truth. Black folks in America know the truth. So I want us to watch this video. As usual, I'll be back and I'll be giving my commentary in regards to this. If you're watching this video for the first time, I'll most definitely ask you to subscribe to our channel, join our membership, and really get to see what I can offer you. But until then, let's watch the video. You know I'll be back.
Happy Thursday, guys. I saw this interesting video last night I wanted to discuss. There was this white woman from Nebraska, a farmer. She came on this video and she had one question. She said, Does anybody in America care about Nebraska? Does anybody care about Nebraska? No. No, we don't. Let me tell you why I say this. 60% of Nebraska voted for Donald Trump, despite the fact he spent his entire election talking about his mass deportation plans. 65% of Nebraska workforce is illegal immigrants. Nebraska is a farming state, overran with farms. Now, 60% of Nebraskans voted for Trump. 65% of their workforce is illegal immigrants. And in 6 months, Nebraska's state will be going bankrupt. In 6 months, Nebraska will go belly up, because they have lost their 65% of their working force in their farming industry. And she has the audacity, the caucasity, to get on here and ask if anybody cares about Nebraska. No, you don't care about Nebraska. Nebraska doesn't care about Nebraska. I'm sorry for the 40% that voted voted blue. I'm sorry for them. But Nebraska, no, baby, no, not a bit. When you go out here and do these self-inflicted wounds, don't come out crying, expecting for somebody to baby you up. No, you're going to swallow that. You're going to eat that. You're going to eat that. So now you guys are losing your farms. You've already lost your workforce. And as soon as it gets dire, the big farming corporations are going to swoop in, and they're going to buy up your farms for pennies on the dollar. All because you true blue to Republican and Donald Trump, that you're willing to even sacrifice your own livelihood and your own farms, your own way of life. Republicans mean so much to you. Donald Trump means so much to you. And what they represent and what they stand for means so much to you. So you guys are willing to sacrifice everything. And you have. Now you want to come out crying, does anybody freaking care? Did you? Did you? Because it doesn't look like you care enough to me. You didn't even care enough to do what was best for you. You own your own farm. The last time Trump was in the office, the farming industry took a beating. And they had to be bailed out. A lot of the smaller farms didn't get those bailouts. So they just went belly up. And y'all took y'all simple-minded butts right on back in them boots and asked for another round of losing your farms. And you want us to care when you don't. Y'all are mind-baffling. You are so entitled. You think that you're supposed to go out here and do whatever you want to do, make whatever horrific choices you want to make, and make them to be detrimental to others. And then when your shit blow up, you want the others who you meant harm to come in and baby you and to care about you. Girl, please go sit down. Go. I tell you what you need to be doing. What you might need to be trying to work out some plans with these big farm corporations. Maybe they'll let you stay on and work the land. This might be, you guys may have ushered in your own season of sharecropping. Y'all had no problem using it on black people. For years y'all took advantage. Hundreds of years y'all took advantage of people sharecropping. So, look into that. That's one alternative. At least being able to keep a roof over your head, huh? And then you may get ready. Because the big farming corporations, they're coming for you. But I want to ask you this. Who do you think is funding one of the biggest farming corporation groups out there? There's this group called Trader Acres. They're known for going out and buying up smaller farms for pennies on the dollars. Well, guess who's a major funder of that organization? Y'all voted for him too. Yeah, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is heavily funded in this Trader Acres, and they are known for buying up small family farms for pennies on the dollar. Yeah. See how they getting you? Every which way you turn, they getting y'all. And y'all are just sitting back, allowing it to take place. So, if you don't care about your own well-being, why in the world do you guys want us to care? Why? You guys had all the information that you needed before you went in that booth. He did not lie to you. In this instance, he did not lie. He was transparent in this instance. He really was, because he told y'all the entire time, mass deportation, mass deportation. And y'all was just hollering, yay, yay, like it wasn't going to affect you at all. Like it was something y'all really wanted. That's why he kept saying it, because it generated such applause. Y'all knew this. You can't lie and say you didn't know that. Yes, you did. You can't lie and say I didn't vote for that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And now it's just coming to reap. You're reaping what you sow. You're reaping what you sow. So don't expect to get sympathy from people who you intended to be harmed by these decisions you were making. The only difference is you got caught when you thought it was going to be others. No, I don't feel sorry for that. No, I don't care about that. I really don't. There are people that are out here that did not ask for this, that has to deal with it. Those are the people that I care about. Those are the people that matter to me. Not the ones that did a self-inflicted wound to their temple, and now you want everybody to run around here and try to bandage up your head. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Because not only was it a bad decision, but it was a decision based off of pure hatred, vile, disgust. I mean, it came from the deepest rooted place of evil. And I'm going to tell you something, in case y'all didn't catch it, listen to this again. 60% of Nebraskans voted for Trump. 60%. 6-0. 65% of their workforce is illegal immigrants. 6-5, right? And in 6 months, they're going bankrupt. Can we say 6? Just food for thought. Y'all have a great day.
Does anybody care about Nebraska? That's the question that's going around TikTok right now. And to that, I respond with 2 questions. Did Nebraska care about anybody else? And does Nebraska care about Nebraska? Because you see, God helps those who help themselves. And when you Nebraskans walked into the voting booth and overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump to be president, and now you're feeling the effects of that, this isn't I told you so. This is an FAFO. And I know there are Nebraskans out there that voted for Kamala Harris and did not fall into the trap of Donald Trump. Unfortunately, there were not enough of you. And now the rumors, and I'm having a hard time substantiating some of this, but the vibe that's going around is that Nebraska basically looks to be bankrupt in about 6 months because of the undocumented migrants that are being deported, or just the fact that undocumented migrants make up a large portion of their state and workforce on the farms. And they're not showing up to work because they're now afraid they're going to be deported. So Nebraskans, especially farmers in Nebraska, did you think any further than the front of your face? Did you think any further? Or were you just blinded by hate? And now people are coming out here asking, what about Nebraska? Do you guys care about Nebraska? No, I've already answered it, but the short answer is no. No, we don't. We don't care about Indiana, where I'm from. We don't care about Kentucky losing their bourbon up in Canada. We don't care about Jack Daniels in Tennessee. We don't care about the auto industry in Michigan. Are we all going to feel this? Yes, it's going to hurt. The disruptions in the food supply from Nebraskan farmers is going to hurt everybody. We are not immune, but we can't care. We can't care. We have no more sympathy to give. You guys had a chance. We spent our time telling you, talking to you, talking at you because you wouldn't listen. You decided to vote for Donald Trump. And here he is undoing your entire workforce. And when you lose your family farm of 150 years to a private company who's going to buy up all the land when you guys can't pay your bills, that's the state of America we're going to be in because you decided to vote for hate over the rest of the country and your own good. You cut off your nose to spite your face. So Nebraska, we don't care. God helps those who help themselves, and you decided you didn't want help.
I hate to say I regret voting for Trump because I still have hope that maybe he'll still give me an advantage and hurt all these other people, and at their expense, I'll rise. But now that I'm getting hurt too, why can't he just have more compassion for us, people like me? When Elon Musk gave his heart out to everybody, I was all for it. I'm for mass love. But when he fired me in the IRS department, he's going too far. I voted for you. My grandfather can't pay for insulin anymore. When he wanted to raise all these other medications, my grandfather wasn't on. I didn't care. But now the insulin, Trump, come on, like, I didn't vote for this. Robert F. Kennedy, yeah, I wanted to vote him in so we could take away the unhealthy food out of this country. But when he affected my EBT and I couldn't afford cake anymore, that's not what I voted for. And I hate to say it, but I regret it now. How could he do this? How could he betray us? I know he's lied over and over, but how could he lie to me about me? And lie to them, okay, but like now that it's me, I regret it. I don't even know why I did it, and I wish I could take it back. Because none of his policies affected me. I don't care if it ruined millions of lives. I would have been all MAGA Trump, but now that it's affected my job and my grandpa's medicine, I'm gonna need to see him hurt more people again so I can feel better about my own life for me to get back on board. And I will get back on board. I just need to see him hurt people again. That's not me. So once you can do that, Trump, I might be back. I might be back. And last one. Who is it?
It's ICE. Your neighbor reported you.
ICE?
We're here to deport your British wife.
You thought she was safe? I thought they only targeted Mexicans.
I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska?
I tell you this, the thing that's going on in Nebraska is like this, right? Y'all overwhelmingly voted for Donald John Trump to be your 47th president. And your white supremacy is showing because you thought he wasn't going to fuck with white people, poor white people, freaking middle class white people. You thought he was for y'all. And sad to say, y'all some niggas. Y'all are classified as niggas. Sorry, man. Y'all some niggas. You know what I'm saying? You gets nothing, you deserve nothing. And you gets what you deserve, nigga.
So for all the farmers that live in Nebraska, you voted for Trump knowing that 70% of your workforce on your farms are migrants. Now, apparently, Nebraska is 6 months away from bankruptcy. Still voted for the mass deportation of 70% of your workforce on your farms, and now are complaining that your farms and your livelihood will not survive it.
Well, in today's episode of F Around and Find Out MAGA edition, cattle ranchers in the state of Nebraska who voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump fear the impact on their businesses when Donald Trump implements his mass deportation program that he campaigned on for almost 2 years, that they voted for. And now they're realizing that if he actually implements it, they'll go bankrupt. He told you for almost 2 years that he was going to deport 20 million Hispanic, Latino, undocumented immigrants living and working in the United States. You voted for that. And as cattle ranchers in the state of Nebraska, your business and your profitability depends and relies on undocumented immigrant workers who are now going to be deported by the guy that you voted for who said he was going to do that. How dumb are you people?
So I'm just so curious because my friend live in Nebraska, and yeah, she's black, but I've been hearing a lot of videos about Nebraska being racist. I don't live there. She never told me anything about that. But then again, maybe people don't want to talk about that shit. Anyway, so you telling me Nebraska is on limited time now? Like, because they voted for Trump, they could go bankrupt? Did they care? You know what? Nebraska, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I think you believed a liar. No, I think you didn't listen because he said it. He said he's going to get rid of the immigrants. Get rid of the immigrants. Y'all workers were immigrants. Y'all had raids before, which means y'all know what an immigration raid is. But did y'all not think that a man who's saying he going after all the immigrants don't already know what area the immigrants in? So that just means Nebraska didn't listen. Or they listened and like everybody else keeps saying, he said he ain't gonna do this, he said he gonna do that. Everything he say a lie. Just like he said transgender mice. And it's not transgender mice. It's transgenic. It's the mice they used, to study illnesses and stuff and cures. But he said transgender mice. I guarantee you it's a million Republicans out here that's Trumpers that's just like, it's transgender mice. Mice want to turn into women. Mice want to turn into men. Is they getting wigs too? Because I want to know what a transgender mice is. But anyway, off that subject, Nebraska, you should have listened.
So, y'all be seeing the people on TikTok recently. It's like, what about the people in Nebraska? Where are y'all? Like, do y'all not care about what's happening to us and our families and our 300-year-old farms? I mean, we see it or whatever, but we seen this too. We seen this too. We seen this too. Y'all remember when that white dude was getting arrested in, I think it was Atlanta airport, and he was like, "You're treating me like a black person." Y'all remember that? I think that is what is happening in these United States of America. I think that everybody is starting to find out that racism is expensive. You should vote your pay grade, and that everybody is niggas.
I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska?
Hey girl, as a Texan from a cattle ranching family now living in Florida, we did. We cared about y'all so much. That's why we told y'all for so long. Gosh, I've been screaming it for, I don't know, since at least, the Tea Party. 08, 09. We broke it down, Project 2025, over and over. Y'all didn't listen. So now my only responses is first, bless your fucking heart. Second of all, this is what you voted for. So they're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. A real question to ask. Did you, leave alone caring, did you even think about black folks? All those 300 years that your people put the systems that undermine black folks. And somehow, things are changing. And right now, the voices that you didn't want to hear, they are so peaceful right now. Black folks are off the chat. Black folks are not trying to follow up anything that you're trying to do. They are not trying to help you. Well, I like to say that I'm not like kind of trying to celebrate things that are happening to the Nebraska farmers, but it is really hypocritical to even think that now after the workers have gone, you think that black people will come and work in the farms. The immigrants who used to work on those farms are gone. Now you think that black folks will come and work in those places. And I think that's so much crazy. And that's having a colonial mindset. Something that you think that if you do, it's gonna work for you. Because you think these are still the Jim Crow times that you just used to think black folks are doing all those things that they used to do. Well, you need to ask yourself a question. You need to call yourself and pinch your ears and ask yourself, do you really think we are in the Jim Crow eras? And black people right now are smart. They are so smart. And they know how to deal with all these things. So on the sidelines, if a white person asks you, do you really care about us? My question to them, did you ever care about black people? Did you ever care about black people? That's the simplest question. Any white person watching this video, I know not all black folks are bad. Not all black folks support racism. Not all black folks support fascism. But that's just what has happened. And when you see a person go out there and ask you, do you care about us? The question that you should ask them is, did you ever care about black people? It is you waiting right now that a lot of things are happening against you. That's when you know the power of unity. That's now when you know the power of support. Black people have been wanting that for the longest time. And even the simple efforts that they have tried to put, you're the ones who have been benefiting from. Let's talk about affirmative action. Right. Other groups have benefited of this. It was the voices of black people. You didn't support them. I recognize the few white folks who are also with placards during the George Floyd scenario. I know I'm not trying to generalize, but majority of you white folks or majority of white folks who are watching this video, I think it is just that time for you to get to understand that the decisions that you made, the things that you endorsed are the ones that are coming at your back. And I think this is the best way of making America great again. It is by doing, or it is by what you see that is happening to you. That's the thing that you should be caring about. Honestly, that's so hypocritical. Trying to ask a black person if they care about you. One thing that still stands out is that, did you really care about black people? That's the question. Did you really? Did you even try to? How many times did you try? Don't tell me that you have black friends or something. That's what some of you guys say. What did you do? Instead, you decided to remain complacent. You decided to remain silent. You know damn well that remaining silent in a situation of injustice, that makes you an oppressor. Not speaking because it privileges you. Not speaking because somehow it is not affecting you or it's not touching you. And that, I think that's how the most of you reason. But right now, the opposite happens. You expect black voices. You expect black people to come and, talk all about these things. It's crazy. That's so greedy. That's really selfish. That's so really, that's really, really selfish. That's so narcissistic. And that's crazy. That's uncalled of. And I hope black folks who are watching this video, always watching my videos, you know damn well that I always stand for the truth. And what I'm saying is that let you don't fall for what they're trying to tell you. Because it ain't right. What they're trying to sell to you, it ain't right. It is wrong. Because it only matters when it's affecting them. It didn't matter, and it will never matter when it affects you. I want that to sink to the mind of a black person who's watching this video. It has never mattered when it comes to you. But when it comes to them, they want it gazetted, they want it published everywhere, they want it on all streamed. Because to them, it matters. And this is a reflection of how white history has always been. They have always tried to undermine black history, while that history they always wanted to be gazetted everywhere. This is just a reflection of the things that have been happening. So if you sit down and think about it and ask yourself the same damn questions that I'm asking, you'll come to understand from the perspective that I'm trying to talk about. I hope this video reaches you, whoever is watching this video, because it's important for us to not forget history. We will never forget about history, and black people will never forget. We will never forget how you treated people who look like me, how you treated them. We will never forget. That's the truth. So let me know, what do you think about this video? As usually know, these are presented Gene stories, and if you finding value in the commentaries that I'm making, I'll ask you to please like the video, share, subscribe, so that people who are like-minded like you can get to see or can get to have a discussion. For those guys who want to support me, I highly appreciate those who are sending me the super thanks, those who are visiting my Cash App account, Kendrick Candle. I really, really appreciate you all. But until then, I'm just hoping that you'll stay safe, you'll be fine from the craziness that is happening in the Babylon, and I'm hoping to see you on my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salut.